Hi, folks. This month, our theme is focus and distractions. That's right, focus and distractions. We are all a bunch of distracted creatures, especially during our workday. Think about it. You're sitting down, you have to read a 3-page document before the staff meeting. It's one of those documents that you just need to be familiar with, so when you go to the staff meeting, you kind of know what's being discussed and have some of that information readily available. And you sit down to read that document. Just as you get into the document, start reading it a little bit, someone shows up. A colleague or coworker comes by to ask a question about the project, specifically the budget related to that project. You're the budget person, so you are the right person. And they say, I have just a couple quick questions. You say, sure, what are they? In just a couple minutes' time, you answer those questions. They leave, and you go back to trying to read that document. I say trying because the struggle is real. We don't immediately go back into reading that document. There are many things that are going on, and this month we'll explore those, but let's take a look at the research. What's the science say? What's the research say about focus, distractions, more importantly, interruptions? A group of researchers at UC Irvine found that it takes 23 minutes to fully refocus after an interruption. Most people thinks it takes a few minutes. Some thinks it takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Nope, it takes 23 minutes to get back into reading that document that you were just reading, and you just took a couple minutes to answer a couple questions that you were in the know of, but it takes some what's called recovery time. The reason why this is so important is the math. The math that changes everything. Let's do the calculations. If you get hit with 3 interruptions, just 3, that's 69 minutes of recovery time. Remember, it takes up to 23 minutes to recover from interruption and get back into the work you were originally working on before the interruption. So that's 69 minutes of recovery time with just 3 interruptions. But guess what? The researchers found that the average professional in the workplace today gets 56 interruptions. If you do the math off of that, that's 21.5 hours of recovery time that you need during an 8-hour workday. You're like, that's a square peg in a round hole. That doesn't work. Absolutely. We have a real problem on our hands. So what we need to figure out this month is how to minimize the amount of interruptions that we have. We're going to talk about what we can control and, of course, how to deal with what we can't control. But how to get ourselves some time back and be a little quicker getting back into that work. Some of the things that are happening when we get interrupted, when we go back to that original document. In this case, we're talking about reading a document that we have to be prepared for, familiar with before a staff meeting. You get interrupted, answer the questions, you go back to that document. Guess what? You're not all there, are you? You're somewhat thinking about the conversation. There's some residue, what's called attention residue from that. And so you kind of struggle to find your place. Maybe you do find your place right away and you start reading and you have that moment where you go, wait a minute, I'm okay, I got to go back and read a little bit more right before I was interrupted. The reason that is so disruptive is because you now have created some open loops. Even though you answered those questions about the budget in just a couple short minutes, your brain now has some open loops. Why did that person wonder, where did those questions come from? Is something wrong with the budget? Did a vendor or one of our proposals get changed and then they need to allocate more funds to the client or to that vendor? Those open loops are running in the background. And that's what causes us to have that delay, that lag of up to 23 minutes to get back into that document. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to stop bleeding those 23 minutes every time you're interrupted. Every time someone or something interrupts you. Now, what can you do with this? Well, think about the numbers, of course, but raise your self-awareness. Until we get a chance to talk again, just be aware of how many times that happens to you during a day, that you're doing something intentional that you set out to do, and you get interrupted by someone or something. It could be a person coming by, it could be a phone call, it could be you seeing a notification and clicking out of that document you're working on or reading, and over there now reading an email. Just be aware of that. Just raise your self-awareness of how many times you do what's called context switching. And in the next video, we'll start to solve this problem. Until next time, folks, take care of yourself so you can take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next video.